Okay, so today is Tuesday, September 19th, 2017. It's 1:50 p.m. Now, this is not just another update video. Okay, so as you know, before you stop the video, all I ask is that you listen to what I have to say. Listen to it all the way through, and then you'll understand. Okay. For the past 5 years, I've been the victim of FBI using what they call a very low frequency or extremely low frequency weapon on me. All of this started from a first offense handgun charge back in 2009, from which I received probation, and then later on the judge changed it to a probation before judgment. Now, you can run a background check on me. My name is Wayne Marshall. I was born June of 75. I've lived in I've lived in my house, 3613 East Lombard Street, for 22 years, and I still live there. FBI moved in next door to me. I was arrested July 4th, 2009. FBI moved in August 1st, 2009. Okay. They when I had internet, they would tamper with it, make it unusable. I got rid of it. They still have my phone tapped, and I'll come to that later. But they got me fired from my job, from which I used to work at FedEx Home Delivery. I was well on my way to becoming a contractor. Okay, so fast forward to 2012. This is when FBI started using these weapons on me. Weapons they claim does not exist. Now, since 2014, May of 2014, I started documenting the levels and started documenting everything they've been doing to me. From 2012 to May of 2014, I started sleeping in my mother's car or on somebody's floor just to avoid being inundated with the electromagnetic field that these weapons give off, from which they have at least 4 of them over there. One pointed at my front door so they can inundate me when I walk in or out of my house. One pointed at the second floor middle room where I sat and watched TV and used my computer. And one pointed at the back bedroom where I sleep at. And one pointed, somewhere towards the downstairs middle of the house, so they can inundate myself and my mother also. Okay, so they started using this weapon on me. I started documenting levels. Now, even if you don't know anything about this weapon or what it's capable of, or even if you don't believe this weapon exists, some of the videos that I put on YouTube and some of the other social media sites, you can clearly see, especially on YouTube, you can clearly see they turned this weapon up as high as a 33.2. They turned the same weapon down to negative 0.0 and negative 0.1. The meter would not go down, and it's only one button on my meter. That's the on or off button. This meter would not go down to a negative anything unless it was something artificial causing it. Now, of course, people on social media and those FBI agents watching my videos claim this is coming from the TV or coming from something else electrical in my house. Now, throughout these years, documenting the levels, of course, I turned the electricity completely off in my house at the breaker box. The levels were still there in those same places. Now, the meter that I have, you have to be 6 inches or closer to any electrical source in order to pick up levels. This meter has been setting 6 feet away from a TV. It has been setting 4 feet away from a computer in the middle room where I sat, second floor, watching TV and using my computer. Excuse me. And again, remember, I turned the electricity off several times making videos. And over the years, BGE has turned the electricity off, doing maintenance on their power lines, and the levels were still there. They have backup batteries on that weapon, so if the electricity goes out, like during a storm or BGE turns it off, they can still use that weapon on me. They follow me around. After they use this weapon on me, they follow me around everywhere I go, trying to see who I'm talking to, where I'm going, what I'm doing, trying to see if I'm going to commit a crime that they want me to commit, that they think I should commit, but I'm not, and I won't. Okay, so again, fast forward to today, to this month, September 2017, September 8th, I filed a $10 billion lawsuit against FBI. According to the federal district court clerk, I couldn't press criminal charges against them, so I had to file a lawsuit. The people that were named in this lawsuit, 4 people: Monica DeVaughn, FBI agent Monica DeVaughn. She the one that drives the gray Honda Accord, Maryland tag 7GB R03, from which she probably had her tags changed by now, and a lot of the other ones from which that I put their tags in my lawsuit, they probably got their tags changed by now. But anyway, they put the house in her name, making it seem like she lived there. She don't. She lived down in somewhere in Maryland, the DC suburbs of Maryland. Okay. So the other one is special agent in charge, Gordon Johnson. He's in charge now. Now, the former FBI agent in charge, Kevin Perkins, up and retired, and all of this started under him. Under his supervision, he started all of this. He retired. They put Gordon Johnson in there so he could take over, and he's continuing what he started. And Jeff Sessions, which I was told he had to be notified, so the lawsuit had to be pressed against him too. Now, Gordon Johnson, since I filed the lawsuit against Monica DeVaughn, FBI agent Monica DeVaughn, Gordon Johnson pulled her out. Gordon Johnson pulled her out of that house. They didn't move any furniture though. Now, whether the house is still in her name, I don't know. But Gordon Johnson pulled FBI agent Monica DeVaughn out and put 3 other FBI agents over there, and they rotate. The one that's over there now is the one that drives the Chevy Tahoe. Now, if you're depending on where you're watching this, you're not going to see the pictures. But those of you that are watching on certain social media sites, you can go to the left and click on the photo album, and you'll see the cars and the tags. Now, the other FBI agent that they put in there drives a Ford XLT. The third one they put in there drives a black Infiniti tinted windows. Cars and the tags and the photo albums. Now, just a couple of months ago, with everything they've been doing to me, causing me daily headaches, dizziness, nausea, causing me blackout behind the wheel, causing me, they made me have a heart attack just recently, and I'll come back to that. They made me have a heart attack. They're making it so now when I take a shower, they make it hard for me to breathe, make it feel like I'm drowning. Remember, I'm taking a shower, I'm standing up, and they're making it feel like I'm drowning, making it hard for me to breathe, cause me all kinds of heart problems. They continue to dehydrate me, cause me to urinate excessively, and making my body, of course, making me sweat profusely. And you can see the breeze blowing. So it's cool out here, but yet I'm sweating like I just ran a marathon, and yet I'm standing still. And it's not even hot out here, it's not humid. But anyway, they make me sweat profusely, and they use this weapon, making my body not process water. So now I have to drink any other kind of fluids to try and stay hydrated because of them. Now, headaches, everybody get headaches. I don't care who you are. Everybody get headaches once in a while. But getting headaches every day. Now, mind you, I've been in my house 15 years before FBI moved in. Never had any problems. Never. All of a sudden, I'm getting sick for no reason. Now, when they made me have a heart attack, I went to the hospital via ambulance, and the doctors did a dye test. They ran dye through my veins, and they couldn't find anything wrong that would directly say why I was having a heart attack. They found no blockage. While I am a little overweight, they said that wouldn't cause it. No blockage in the arteries or veins, nothing. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, but yet I'm having a heart attack on a Saturday morning, and all I did was wake up. They did it. They used this weapon and made me have a heart attack, just like they're making it feel like I'm drowning every time I take a shower. Now, I'm not running out of my house. I mean, they made me sleep in the car for a year and a half, and I got to the point I wasn't going to let them run me out of my house. I still had to go home to shower and eat anyway. And seeing as how they got one of those weapons pointed right at my front door, I still got to go home, and they inundate me as soon as I walk in the house. Okay, so Gordon Johnson pulled Monica Devon out, and those 3 agents are over there. Now, of course, I filed this lawsuit, and I'm not backing down. This lawsuit is going through. So those 3 FBI agents that they have over there now, all male, by the way. One driving the Ford XLT, one driving the Chevy Tahoe, and the other one driving the black Infiniti tinted windows. They have been in my neighborhood. Now, I don't know exactly what they're saying to the little dope boys around there. I don't associate with none of them. I don't bother none of them. And like I said, never had any problems until FBI moved into this neighborhood, in which they don't live there, none of them. You run their tags, guarantee you're going to find out none of them live in that neighborhood. But anyway, those 3 FBI agents have been in my neighborhood, along with 2 other FBI agents that Monica Devon knows and brought around there. They've been telling the little dope boys whatever, and now all of a sudden, Baltimore City Police no longer sets in my neighborhood like they used to. Now, for years, City Police was set right there at the gas station, which is at the corner of Lombard and Conklin. They were set there for hours. They would just sit there all day, all night. They would just sit there, I guess to keep crime down and keep the prostitutes out of the area or whatever. They don't do that anymore all of a sudden. And now the little dope boys, I mean, I think they know that FBI is in that house, because I did tell a couple of them. Now, I don't know what those FBI agents, I mean, of course, they don't look like FBI. They look like any other nigga on the street selling drugs. But they have been telling the little dope boys in the neighborhood, whatever. And now all of a sudden these dope boys looking at me, staring all up in my face and looking at my mother like they want to do us harm because of them. Now, like I told you in one of the other videos, if anything happens to me or my mother, you know who did it. Or you know who's responsible for it. They are directly fucking responsible for it. They've been doing this they've been harassing me, using this weapon on me, assaulting me, causing me all kinds of health problems, which I call premeditated attempted murder. They're doing this deliberately. Now, of course, they hide behind the cloak of this weapon doesn't exist. These weapons don't exist after they murdered Earn Alexis. And if you look up Earn Alexis and Navy Yard shooter, you'll see how they claim this weapon doesn't exist. So they hide behind that cloak that they can say these weapons doesn't exist. But if you look at the videos, like I said, even if you don't know anything about low frequency weapons and what they're capable of or what they were built for, if you look at the videos, you'll clearly see that the levels are not normal. Now, the meter sets in the same place. Of course, I take you down to my front door. There's nothing electrical at my front door. I take you down to my front door and I show you the levels there. How sometimes they had it when they first started, they had it jacked up real high. I would go to my front door and it'd be like a 12.2 at my front door. Then there are other times still at my front door where I documented levels down to a 0.3. Same with throughout my house, especially in my bedroom and then the middle room where I sat and watched TV and used my computer. And that brings me to the point, they turned it down to a negative 0.1 in the middle room where I was sitting watching TV and using my computer. Nothing goes down to a negative number unless it's some artificial doing it. This meter, and you can look at the meter and see, it only has one button, on and off. On and off, that's all it does. On and off. Even if you don't know about this weapon, even if you don't know about electromagnetic fields or how they're generated or how they can be used as a weapon, they're doing this every day. They've been doing this every day for 5 years, since 2012, and it's 2017 now. I'm so dehydrated. They dehydrated me to the point where I'm coughing and throwing up every day. They dehydrated me to the point where I can't run anymore. My lungs are so dry that if I was to run, I'm standing here. If I was to run from here to that tree over there, I'd be out of breath. I can't walk up a flight of steps without breathing hard and sweating profusely. They dehydrated me to the point where my skin is so dry. The skin on my feet, the skin on my legs is so dry, I have to put lotion and Vaseline on just to keep it from cracking and bleeding. You know, I mean, you say, well, you're sweating. If you're sweating, how can they be dehydrating you? That's because I'm still drinking, I'm sucking down fluids all day long. Gatorade, water, tea, you know. They made it so my body can't process water anymore, so I have to drink other fluids. And as soon as I take it in, it's coming right back out. My organs are absorbing whatever moisture is there, and when I sweat, I can, like when I woke up this morning, took my shower, dried off, and when I left the house, went and washed my clothes, I'm sweating for no reason. All I did was walk outside to the car, and I'm sweating like I just ran a marathon, sweating profusely. Now when I sweat, I smell like rotten meat, like somebody just left a pack of ground beef or steak setting out for 3 days. Just sitting out there on the counter in the heat for 3 days. That's how I smell when I sweat now, because of them. FBI has been doing this for so long that nobody cares. I make videos, I contact people, nobody cares. Now it's to the point, now that I'm suing their asses, they trying to get somebody to do me harm so they can keep their hands clean. They can have the little dope boys in the neighborhood shoot and kill me, and they can say, oh, we didn't do it, but they're responsible for it because they have their agents in my neighborhood telling these people to do me harm. FBI agent Monica Devon was pulled out, like I said. Now they have 3 other ones over there. So if anything happens to me, if you heard that I had a heart attack, a stroke, if you heard that that I was shot, stabbed, beat down, whatever, anywhere, I don't bother anybody, nobody bothers me. Now, they stirring all up in my face now. Like I said, I've been in this neighborhood before a lot of them were even born. 22 years I've been in my house. And if you notice I keep looking over, that's because cars keep driving past. I'm guessing that some of them FBI agents that are following me around. And as you can see, this white truck just pulled up and stopped. But anyway, I've been in my house for 22 years. I don't bother anybody. Nobody bothers me. Same with my mother. We don't set out on a step. We don't socialize with the neighbors because most of them do whatever. Most of them are Mexicans anyway. They act like they don't speak English. And you see the white truck passing behind me. She pull up and stop at the gate and see she can't go nowhere. Then all of a sudden she want to drive down. But anyway, all of a sudden these dope boys want to stir all up in my face, look at my mother strange because of them FBI agents telling them whatever. Like I said, we don't bother anybody. We've been around there for 22 years, longer than most of those little bastards been born. And yet, all of a sudden, they stirring all up in our face like they want to do us harm. So if something happens to us, if you heard about a home invasion at 3613 East Lombard Street, you know who's responsible for it. FBI at 3615. Now, FBI put cameras in the window, looking at who's coming in and out of my house. You know, but all of a sudden, if something happens, I'm not saying it has yet, but if something happens to me or my mother, you hear about a home invasion or shooting, robbery or whatever, FBI is directly responsible for it. Now, I filed this lawsuit September 8th. They have 60 days to respond from that day. Well, they probably didn't serve them that day, but they probably served them that Monday or Tuesday. So they have 60 days from that date to find out how they can kill me. So they had the little niggas in the neighborhood do it. They can say they had nothing to do with it. They are directly responsible for it. Now, you may not want to get involved, but when you or your family becomes a victim, you're going to want somebody to do something. You may not want to believe that these weapons exist, but remember where you live at. This is the United States. Now, to give you an example, the United States attacked Japan for decades before Pearl Harbor. When Japan retaliated and attacked Pearl Harbor, what happened? The United States dropped the bomb on them and pretty much made them give in to what the United States wanted. The United States right now is pushing $21 trillion in debt. The United States, the same people that they are harassing around the world, they owe money to. China, even North Korea. The United States borrow money from these people and they're threatening them. This country is pushing $21 trillion in debt. And yet they're wasting money, moving in next door to me, moving in next door to even you probably, using these weapons on you, making it so you're terrified to live in your own house, and that's what they are, terrorists, making you terrified to live in your own house, and paying these agents all of these thousands of dollars of overtime. Now, while they might not pay them cash, they get comp time for it. And if they don't cash that time in at a certain point, they'll pay them for that time. So they're getting paid overtime regardless. They do this. They're wasting money. When they have things, you know, this country, again, pushing $21 trillion in debt, and they bought that house next door to me, moved them in, and paying electric bill, gas and electric bill with your tax dollars. Wasting money. Now, what do you think is going to happen when they have to start paying off that money? when Congress can no longer raise the debt ceiling and that money has to be paid off. Right now, they're just paying the interest and they're barely paying that. That trickle-down effect is going to affect you. From the courtroom to the boardroom, restaurants, fast food restaurants, clothing stores, car dealers, the trickle-down effect is going to affect you. A whole lot of people are going to lose their jobs, but of course, the federal government, they shut down the federal government, they still get paid. They come back to work, them bastards still get paid. They'll still get paid for whatever time that they put in. Even though the government shut down, if they working for free, they'll still get paid for it. You won't. Not fair, is it? Yeah, neither is what I'm going through. So that wraps this up. If like I said, if you hear about anything happening to me, you know who's responsible for it. FBI 3615 East Lombard Street. You know where to go for pictures of the cars. Like I said, if you, depending on where you're watching this, you're not going to see pictures. You're just going to see the videos that I posted. So you decide. Like I said, even if you don't know about this weapon, look at the videos. You don't try to look at them all, because I think it's almost 1,000 videos on YouTube. But I have over 10,000 documented videos showing what they've been doing. Continued harassment, assault with a deadly weapon, and premeditated attempted murder. Stay tuned.